I got my sage going so we can clear the energy.
Oh, girl, put it all in the page, up and down the page.
All up and down. Good energy.
You know, I just love you. I got you page and I got the Bible behind my phone here.
Listen. Well, I got the fashion Bible right here. We're not gonna plug them though. We're not gonna plug them until they give us a check. But it's here.
You're so funny. Well, welcome, darling. Welcome to the
Thank
face.
you.
I am your host, Monique Marie, and the lovely Myoshi
Monet. Yes.
Monet. And you are not just Myoshi Monet, you are a creative director. Okay.
Yes.
I like to let people know who you are. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You are an image branding executive.
Yes.
Okay.
With the new loud. That's
with
new.
the new loud. So congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
You are the world's favorite wardrobe stylist.
Hey.
Okay.
We're gonna claim all of that.
So many blessings, so much creativity. You are a curator and you are definitely a queen. So I'm so happy you're here. You know, shout out to Drea, who of course
yes, thank you, Drea.
Because you were on her interview that night and we made a very profound connection thereafter. And so let's get into it. So talk about who Myoshi Monet is.
So Myoshi Monet, basically what I do is I pride myself on being able to take other people's visions and bring them to light, basically. So when it comes to visual content, if it comes to creating videos, books, photos, photography, anything like that. I'm not the photographer, I'm not the video person, but I'm the eyes behind them that keep them seeing all things great.
Yes. Yes.
But mostly I love clothes. I love clothes, I love fashion. And I'm not a label person necessarily. Like, I don't really care about the names. If it looks good, then you know, we're gonna make it work.
Yes. Yes.
So I like to say that I sell the experience that clothes provides. I don't sell clothes.
I love that. Yeah. Crucial. I always talk about providing an experience. I mean, whether it be in what we're talking about, designer. We talked about that.
We did.
At a fashion boutique or at the a Salvation Army.
Let me tell you, Salvation Army. Salvation Army, baby. The Goodwill up. The Goodwill up.
The Goodwill A. Okay?
The Goodwill A. Listen, I love me a good thrifting. A good thrifting, I'm here for it.
Girl, it's crazy because you can find some incredible things. So tell me where this influence comes from. I know a little bit about your story as far as your mom, grandmother, but share more of it with those of us who are watching.
Of course. So originally, growing up, my grandmother is from New York. She was born during the Holocaust, and so she grew up really, really poor, and she ran away actually from New York when she was 17 years old, selling Ebony magazines and singing in some little jazz choir. And she came here, and this is where she laid her roots down. So that's as far back as I can actually go as far as my mom's side. So they grew up really, really poor. So she made a lot of their clothes. Actually all of them, if it weren't given to them. So I think that's where it started. And then when I was born, my grandmother would keep me when my mom was at work, and she would take me to work with her at the hotel. She worked at the High Regency downtown, and I would sit in the hotel rooms with her while she cleaned them. And I would look through magazines, and I was just infatuated with the beauty of how to make things beautiful. So my mom would make dolls for me, and I would create clothes. An ideal Sunday for me was not watching cartoons.
Right.
I literally flipped through JCPenney catalog book, Macy's catalog book, and that was my dreams come true. I love anything fashion, home decor, all those things. So that's just a little bit.
Everything creative, right?
Absolutely.
So while you're waiting with your grandma and you're going through these magazines and you're looking at, of course, how these women are dressed in these magazines, talk about some of the things that came across your mind that you saw, because you're talking about a whole different era, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
The generation behind you, of course, is listening. So talk about, of course, just the aesthetics and the things that, of course, that drove you to, of course, where you are today.
So I'm really big, and this is going to be funny. So anytime I took a job somewhere, they would always ask me, what made you pick us? I
Yeah.
don't care how much money the company was paying. If it was dark, I'm really big on lighting. I
Mm.
feel like lighting gives me great energy. The sun
Yeah.
gives us energy. So for
Yeah.
me, if it's dim, the lights are dim, I feel like you're trying to hide something. We want to
Hmm.
showcase all things. So why are you hiding it if you want to sell it to someone?
Yes.
So as a kid, colors were like really big to me. My younger cousin, she's 10 years younger than me, and she
Hmm.
always like, that's pink. I'm like, no, that's not. That's fuchsia. She's like,
That's
that's
you.
green. I'm like, no, it's not. It's sage.
Yes.
So I'm really big on like just being really detailed.
Hmm.
So my one of my favorite eras of fashion is like the 20s and the 40s.
Mm.
I mean, women just really like embodied everything. Like it was layers. They had the best handbags, like gloves. There was so many little details
Hmm.
that we don't really bring to life today as much.
Yeah.
And the men were well dressed, you know,
Yes.
from top to bottom. Like that showed your status.
Hmm.
And for me growing up, again, my grandmother and my mom grew up really, really poor. So my mom worked really, really hard
Hmm.
to provide a lifestyle for us that we didn't have to go through the same things. But within that time period, she sewed as well. She went to school for fashion merchandising as well. So
Amazing.
she sewed. And so it was just something I just picked up and they always did it. So it was normal to me. If this wasn't like, I didn't know anything else other than that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know, it's interesting when you say that, because looking at everything that you learned, there was something that you quoted, and I'll read it back because I think it's crucial. It's not just about how much money we have, and you just
Oh
said
yeah.
this. No matter how much money you have or what type of job you have, it's still important to express your very best.
Oh yeah.
And you learned a lot about that looking through those magazines. You learned a lot about that from watching your mother and your grandmother
Yeah.
get dressed every day, because you said they always dressed like they had somewhere important to be.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, absolutely.
that's big, because I think with manifesting, you know, I think if you dress the part, you will be going somewhere.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So talk to our people more about how important that is.
I really think it's important, one, for you to have a clear vision for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to know who you are.
Yeah.
And if you're not where you want to be, it's definitely okay to have a plan to get there. And I think that when you feel good, if
Yeah.
you don't feel good, well, when you look good, sometimes it helps you feel good on the inside. So
Yes.
we always say don't judge a book by its cover, but it's natural. We're humans. So
Mm-hmm.
we eat with our eyes first, whether it be
Yeah.
the food. You don't want your food sloppy on your plate. Like you want it like really pretty, decorated, and so you can eat it and enjoy it. We live in an Instagram type of world, so we're taking pictures of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important to just find out who you are and take that and just dress the part. I think it's important to have like basic pieces in your closet for sure. You need a nice blazer.
Yes.
You always need like basic. You need your basic black tee, your basic white tee, a nice pair of jeans, a nice pump, a nice booty, and maybe a sweater or two here and there. But you can literally mix all that up and have a full wardrobe. You don't need a lot of money to do this. Like you
Absolutely.
can literally go to Walmart right now. Athleisure wear is all over the place. So
Mm-hmm.
you can go to Walmart, get a pair of joggers, take the
Mm-hmm.
joggers, roll pull the bottom of the leg up, put a nice little pump on with the joggers top or a t-shirt, throw a blazer on, and you look like $1,000,000. So it's
Yes.
not about the money you spend. It's really about you just taking pride in yourself, grooming yourself. I think I pride myself on giving back to the like young girls as well, because they don't understand the importance of it. Less is
Yes.
more sometimes. Like, less is more. So you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
do all the extra. You don't need all the name brands. I mean, it's if you can get it, you can get it. But if
Yes.
you can't, don't feel like you can't dress your best.
Yes.
So I learned that from my mom and my grandmother, because they didn't have the best of jobs when I was
Yeah.
really, really young.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell that when they left the house. I mean, head to toe, makeup, lipstick, all that was like always done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was beautiful to see that, because that was just normal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that there was another way to be other than just that. Like sometimes you have to fake it till you make it.
Yes.
And I think again, like you said, manifestation is really important to know, but within doing it, you have to have a plan. And
Yes.
so if you know where you want to go, then write it down. Sometimes you're a visual person, write it down. Look at
Mm-hmm.
those pictures, take those pictures, make vision boards. I did that so many times.
Yeah.
Like clothes, I don't want to show you all of this wardrobe over here because it's not all the way together,
I could
but
imagine.
a little shameful. But I love clothes, and again,
Yeah.
it's like I feel like you can make yourself feel better if you're not feeling like your best. I feel like
Yeah.
you put a nice pair of clothes on and you can feel good about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, talk about Official Loud. You just, of course, have started this new role.
Yeah,
Congratulations
thank you.
as the
They
branding.
actually just joined. Hey, Loud.
Did that while we spoke? Look at
They
that. We spoke.
did. You spoke them into existence. Yeah,
Um, Congratulations on your new role
thank
with
you.
Loud Branding Image Executive. Talk to us
Yes.
about what you'll be doing, curating the looks for artists and the norm and everything you'll be doing with visuals.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. Like Loud is an amazing company. They're based here in Houston, Texas. They've done Derek, he's done some amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing group of artists. And so he pulled me in. There was a Loud Fest here back in the beginning of December, and a
Mm-hmm.
couple other artists that I work with South Star Music Group. We were part of the showcase.
Okay.
And I've just been really, really planting seeds all 2020. Like I told myself, I quit my job, my full-time job, and I said, I'm just going to pour myself right into the things that I love. Life is too short. Do
Yeah.
what you love. And by doing that, I feel like so many doors have just opened. I'm overwhelmed by like all of the like support because I'm always the one that gives support. So
Yeah.
to get it, it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But Derek gave me a call and he said that he needed me and he like been watching me and he thought I was awesome. And I'm just like, you, me, like I'm paying attention to what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I'll be able to do all the dressing for all their amazing artists. Right now, we're
Incredible.
actually getting ready to open up the first the office in Houston, the headquarters. It should be
Mm-hmm.
ready before the end of this month. I've been working hand in hand with Derek, like coming up with like the aesthetics part, as
Mm-hmm.
far as like the colors for the building,
Yes.
everything. So we're going to give an experience to Houston for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited about all the different looks and the different personalities because I like to go wow, and then I
Mm-hmm.
like to be contemporary, so I have different people to play with.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting. I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited for you, and I just love just that you love colors. You know, I mean, colors
Oh yeah.
are so
Can't you
crucial.
tell?
Yes, I just, girl, I thank God for you today. I thank you, Jesus. Uh, I want to ask you a question. You
Yeah.
know, we know today we're celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. And something that, of course, we know his quote, of course, is always to be, I have a dream.
Yes.
So what you're doing, I want to know, what does the American dream mean to you?
Honestly, I think it is freedom. And when I
Yeah,
say freedom, I don't mean it in a sense of how most people use it, like, shackles, because I don't feel like physically we're not all like that. But I feel like freedom of speech, freedom to create, freedom to just be authentically yourself,
yes.
freedom to make mistakes and learn from them and not be judged. Like, I just want complete freedom, financial freedom, freedom to travel again.
Oh, help us, Lord.
Lord, just give me freedom to travel again. So I told Derek, and if he's still on here, he can attest to this. I
Yes.
literally told him there are 3 things to keep me happy. One
Mm-hmm.
of them is to travel
Mm-hmm.
monthly. I have to travel all the time because it keeps me creative. I need to have the freedom to travel. I need
Yes.
to have the freedom to create how I like to,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make sure that I can able to give back to the community at the same time.
Absolutely.
So freedom is basically what comes to mind with that, because I feel like so many of us, we think that we are, but we are either enshackled in our minds because we're holding ourselves back.
Mm-hmm.
We overthink situations. I feel like it's really important for us not to be so hard on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We live in crucial times to where we're all on one even platform right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it allows you to be whoever you want to be. Forget what happened yesterday. Like, literally give yourself freedom to make mistakes and just try new things. It's really
Yes.
important to just create. I think everyone is a creative in their own light. We
Mm-hmm.
just judge ourselves too much. We're too worried about what they're going to say. But
Mm-hmm.
they should be worried about what they're going to do. If they're watching you, then let them watch.
Yes. You know what's
So
so
me.
funny? And you know, it's
So
funny
me.
because you have a special glow about yourself when you're minding your own business. You know,
Man, you don't pay a toll. You're
yeah,
driving your own lane. There's
you
no
just
toll.
keep shining. You're shining. You know, and I say that to you, Myoshi, because you are definitely purpose driven.
Oh, yeah, thank
It exudes in what you do. I saw your work when I first saw Dria's visual, and I
you.
had
Oh,
no
man.
clue who you were. You know, I was looking at everything of you. You know, and Dria, of course, the sound, and then
So amazing.
you guys connecting and collaborating together made this big experience. So it's incredible because not everyone is able to do that. You know,
That was actually my second video that I'd ever done creative
Crazy.
directing for, like by myself. I did it
Mhm.
before a long time ago for Grip Boys. They're also a group. They were a group in Houston. Like, I'm not gonna tell my age, but you know, a little bit further back, just a little bit. When I was a young lad in the game.
Yeah.
But that was my first experience, and I did a couple more times, but this was my first time like really having taking what they gave me and like really we did it all in Houston, and a lot of like you can't really tell on some of the parts, but it was so amazing working with her. She gives me creative like freedom. There's that word again.
Oh, yeah.
But she gives me
Yeah.
creative freedom. Like she just trusts me so much. Her and her husband Chris were front runners. They are really, really
Yes.
amazing people. I couldn't have asked for better people to work with. We got 2 more videos
Yeah.
actually. So Imperfect Behavior is out as well, but there's one more that I'm waiting on called Joneses. That was the first one we did, and that one is super dope as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And you heard what I said. I mean, because I literally thought that you guys were in like Africa. I'm like, I wanted to climb in. So that's
well, come on to Houston. Come on to Houston.
Okay. Don't tempt me.
Listen, I got an extra room.
That's the perfect experience of what I think you're talking about as far as delivering, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So talk to me about storytelling, because I know you come from the same background. We're both from that retail, that fashion. I want to, I'm going to circle back, because what comes to mind when you spoke a little while ago as far as storytelling is a designer by the name of Emilio Pucci.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't really know Emilio Pucci, but I want to say something because it reminds me a lot of you.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
that means so much.
That means a lot, because if you know his story, his patterns and his prints were very and colorful. And they were really driven he was making everything for people who were curvy, women who had, and it didn't mean to be big.
Mm-hmm. It just body.
You just had body, you know. So, and then of course to add the color onto it, he gave a whole different, experience to the game. So talk about storytelling through the eyes of what one wears and how you push that.
So if just picture yourself, when you meet a person, the first thing that you see is how they appear.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like for me, I'm actually almost like a therapist to some people.
Yes.
So dressing men and dressing women are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Dressing a woman, it comes with a lot, and a lot of times we have so many different insecurities about ourselves that other people may not even point out. And all that comes out because you're in a very vulnerable place when you're dealing with a wardrobe stylist like myself, because we're stripping away not only your clothes, we're stripping away like the emotional burials, things that you're comfortable with. I want to push that envelope to show you that you're beautiful.
Yes.
And in doing so, a lot of times, one of the best feelings is when they tell me, I can't do that. Oh, that doesn't work for me. I'm like, just trust me. Yeah. Like, just trust me. And when we put it on and their face lights up and they're like overwhelmed with joy, it's like, people don't realize like something so small as that. Yeah. It just gives the woman so much more confidence. Put a pair of heels up, you walk with your back straight.
Yeah.
You walk with your head up. It's like, it gives you the confidence to walk in the room and demand the respect that you already should have anyway. But it makes you feel good. Yeah. And if you feel good, then you'll do good.
Yeah.
So for me, being creative allows me to do that for other people, but then it helps me too, because that's a little piece of that I feel like I left with you.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to feel good about themselves, because I have flaws, and there's things that I'm insecure about as well. It's like, but at the end of the day, you have to understand that no one is perfect. Yeah. And just like the song Imperfect Behavior, like just be who you are. Yeah. Imperfect Behavior. That was a plug, by the way.
Yeah.
But just be who you are and embody it. And I feel like if you do it the right way, then you're going to feel good and people are going to respect you. You got to put like this: whatever you want to portray, they're going to get that if you put the clothes on the right way. If you want to be sexy, you can be sexy. Yeah. If you want to be, if you want to be business, then you want to walk in and show that, especially the young girls who just got out of college, a lot of times they overthink it. Yeah. And they have a vision for what they see on TV. But that all doesn't fit the budget, number one.
Right.
And the aesthetics of it, like putting it on and putting it together, you think you have to overwhelmingly buy all these clothes. You really just need 4 pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just need 4 pieces. So it's just important for me to let people know, like help you build your confidence and let you know that, you're beautiful and you're strong and you can showcase that by just putting on clothes that make you feel good. When you walk in a room, that people can respect you as well.
Absolutely. So let's circle a little to those humble beginnings, because you're talking about women, but let's talk a little bit about the men. Started, of course, in the retailers, men accessories department.
Yes.
Got to a point where, you know, you had built wonderful relationships and things of that nature, where you didn't really need to even use measurements or anything. You started to be able to.
Oh, you're going way back.
Physically, to be able to look at a gentleman and you knew exactly what size he was.
Yeah.
Now, how is that?
It's really funny because the universe really prepares you. And when I look back, the article that you're talking about, when I look back and I was like, man, I was like, this whole time I thought I was just going to work. Like just going to work. I didn't realize that it was grooming me and preparing me for where I am today. But I just take pride in everything that I do. So for me, I went to this retail job, like me and a couple of my friends, we all work there together. But I'm very competitive. I play sports, so I'm very competitive, and I wanted to make sure that my department always looked up to par. I wanted to be top in credit card sales. I wanted to make sure that I caught every, and we didn't work off of commission. It just was like, it helped keep it interesting to me at work, and it was fun. And I love to see the clothes all lined up and the colors running together. That gave me a sense of pride. But I got to the point to where I would measure a guy and this, that, and the other. But now I can look at you and be like, oh no, you're definitely a 17 and a half, 32, 36. Like that's what that is. And 9 times every now and again, maybe a little bit off. But for the most part, those skills that I learned there, and this was the men's accessories department. So I didn't work in the suits at that point, so I wasn't into like the tailoring, but it was
shirts though.
Exactly. And you wanted to fit right in tailor, because when you buy it out the store, when you don't have like a lot of money, you still want it to fit like it was made for you. That's the ideal. So when you're going out and you guys are shopping, get you a tailor. Have a cleaners that you can go to, like buy the clothes that you like, whether it fits or not, buy it a little too big, take it to a tailor, have them tailor it to you. You won't be able to tell the difference if it was handmade or was it off the rack. So I learned all of that there. Like that, I learned a lot about Dockers too.
Oh, not the old school. Jeez, Docker. Wow.
But again, it still helped me because I was able to transfer that information over to like suit department when it comes to the dress pants. But yeah, just thinking back, like I didn't realize all the things that I was doing would prepare me for. I didn't know that I knew that I had an interest to create, but not in this way.
So, what would you say if I said the word? You know, I like wordplay. So, what comes to mind when I say the word debonair?
Debonair. And see, this is the funny thing. I was like, I'm gonna be on top of this. I know what she's gonna do already. And then I'm like, because when Drew was doing this, she's laughing right now. When Drew was doing this, I was just popping out answers for. I'm like, this is so easy, girl. Why are you like what? She said the word debonair. What's the problem? I'm buying myself time, by the way. But
like I like don't pop in there all of a sudden. I'm like, you guys are cheating. You guys.
But debonair, I would say that it grown.
Yeah,
I would say grown.
Yes,
I would say grown.
Because you talk about the dress, the men's dress, and I think it's important for men to know too that they don't always have to wear a super tight suit and be.
No.
So, like you said, some of the pieces. What are some of the pieces you recommend for them to still be debonair, to be grown and still be comfortable?
I would say invest in a nice pair of brown dress shoes. And the reason why I say brown is because I know black is like what everybody thinks goes with everything, but if you wear that brown dress shoe really, really well, like say when you have a whole blue suit on, blue suits are really strong, by the way. Like you have a blue suit, that's a power suit, that's a power move. You're gonna get the interview. So put a blue suit on with a brown belt and a brown shoe, it will set it off. And believe it or not, a jet black, nice, slim fitting suit with a brown shoe as well is like everything. So I would say invest in a nice pair of brown shoes, because if you're looking for work, you're going to need something comfortable. But you want to be fashionable too. And women pay attention to shoes and hands. Don't get it twisted. We still do that.
I love this. I love it. And I just love that you love what you do. So that leads me into my next question. Is it important for one to do what they love or to love what they do?
So I know I told you before, I was like, so for me, I think that we all at some point love what we do.
Yeah.
I think we all love what we do. or we try to, at least, because you do what you have to do just to get by. Like you want to go in, have a positive attitude, have a positive outlook, so that you can manifest those things back on yourself. But I think it's really important to get to a place to is love what you do. And what was the wordplay? Love what you do, or do what you love. Do what you love.
Do what you love what you do. I don't really think there's any wrong or right answer.
Yeah. But I think it's important. I think it's how, for me, for sure, it's important for me to do what I love to do. At the point that I am in my life now, I don't want to live with regret. I don't want to live with that type of restrictions on me. I want to be able to be free to just create and just be myself. And I feel like the only way to do that is really to do what you love to do, because it's not work when you do that. Like, Drea tells me all the time that she's like, me and her husband, she's like, you guys, I don't know y'all don't sleep. Like, y'all always up. How y'all? It's because
working.
To me, it's so, like, I love it. I'm up all night on Pinterest. I'm up all night on different websites, buying clothes from these small boutiques to test their clothes out, to see if they're good fabrications, to see if I can use them for artists. Like, I just really, really, really love every aspect of it. I mean, all the hardship, all the grunt work, like, I love it. And so I think it's really important for me because it drives me to continue to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you also are a lifestyle curator, of course. Talk about the love for home decor and design.
So so now, remember I told you I was like kind of like a therapist to my girls in the dressing room. Now, don't get me wrong, I love that. But we come with a lot of different insecurities, and a lot of times because I really fall in love with my clients. Because so it's not like I just see you and we're done. Like, I really make the person like my friend. We become family. We really like I check on them. Hey, how are you doing? Like, how's the kids? Like, I'm not just calling you to spend your money. I mean, come on, if you need to cash at me, I'll link it below. But
I can't.
I know, I'm sorry. But with homes, it doesn't come with any insecurities. It does. Like, I'm free to literally, like, walk into an empty space. You tell me what it is that you like, what feeling you want to create, your color pattern. We can go through that together. And for me to go in and be able to just have free range, clear mind, cut the music on, and just like go, it's so therapeutic for me. To be able to do that. And I'm really not big on spending my clients' money. I'm probably the worst salesperson in some form of way, because let me start you with the clothes that's in your closet. Like, let me show you how to wear what you have. So I love going into spaces. Like, I know my family hates me. I change my furniture, like the big furniture, like once a year. I've been stuck with this furniture for 2 years. I love it. But the pandemic really hit me, and I need to get back to what I love to do. I need to buy some more furniture. Like, I love
do what you love.
So I feel like for me, I love creating a space that gives the person whatever emotion that they're trying to feel. If it's zen, like, I want to make sure it's peaceful. Like, me and Drea are working on one right now, actually, for her. But I just love creating a space that you should be able to come home and you should feel like it's a vacation away from everything that's going on outside. It should be a place of peace and serenity. Like, you should be able to literally unload and be able, so that you can decompress from everything that you're going through. And if you can't do that at home, and I know sometimes it's hard to do that, but have a place somewhere where you can, at least just like, it's therapeutic. So I like to give people that type of experience.
Yeah, I like that, because you talk about, you're talking about not just building the relationship you're building, you're maintaining with these people, and I think it's an important part, it's an important piece when it comes to both the music industry, entertainment industry, any business, when it comes to building. So talk about, providing this memorable experience, but also how you think you can use this to cultivate business connections with PR companies, because obviously you're going to be growing. You're going to be getting bigger and bigger with other labels and other companies. Yes. So how do you think you can solve that problem?
I think I'm getting to a place to where before it was really nervous for me. Like, because I can speak up for somebody else like so easy. Like a lot of the artists that I manage or I help like get to certain gigs. It's so easy. Oh, that doesn't work. No, we're doing this, that, and the fourth, and that's just what it is. But I made a conscious decision with one of my really good friends named Lafayette. He's the owner of One Sound Vibe, which is in Houston, a great studio. We have a lot of platforms for a lot of different individuals. But I made a conscious decision to like put myself and my brand first, because a lot of times I'm spending my own money out of my pocket to like buy wardrobes just so I can have it to showcase, unless I have a client that's purchasing it and we do that way. But I feel like over time, by doing that, you learn so many things about yourself and about the industry. So it's really about marketing. I feel like put yourself in position so that people can notice you, like yourself.
Yeah.
When you do good work, you plant the seeds, and you do good by people, word of mouth is the best marketing that you could ever ask for. A good review. You know how many big companies kill for good reviews?
Yes, big time.
It means everything. Who's not researching something? So for me, I think right now I'm in a place to where I've already started sending out like to new designers, up and coming designers. I want to connect with them for sure.
Wow.
Because I feel like we can help each other out. They design clothes, but let me show you how your clothes can actually live outside the runway or outside of your own personal vision that you currently have. So I've hooked up with a couple of them. We haven't like put anything down on paper yet, but we're working towards like doing a couple fashion shows along with live music, so I can kind of combine both the things that I love so much. So yeah, I think it's important to put yourself in position, do good business, maintain relationships. My favorite saying is, I build bridges, I don't burn them.
Yes.
Like if you introduce me to somebody, off the top, I'm like, I love you, but if we ever fall out for whatever reason, that person is not my friend. Like, so you can't get mad. I'll still be at dinner. I'll see you there because I'm there because he invited me too. So I just think it's really important to build relationships with individuals, like-minded individuals too. And by doing so, I think that the PR and the marketing, it'll come. And so right now, that's what I'm working on right now with a lot of new designers coming up.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So you wear many hats. So talk about the branding, because I mean, we talked about this earlier today with styling. You're doing styling. You got Myoshi Mona, creative director, artist management, the Decor. How are you able to juggle everything and to still maintain this inner peace and this wonderful spirit that you have?
So I was talking to a couple of friends this week about similar to this. I know people say they don't sleep, but it's really a thing. Like I may get and I'm stretching it 4 hours of sleep a week. I think that my father died when I was really young. So my mom was a single parent. And so she kept me in so many activities, and she had to go to work. And so when she had to work, instead of paying for a babysitter, I would be at these different sports. I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I would be at swim practice at a different school. This is middle school at 6 o'clock to 7. I would leave there, go straight to my actual school, get dressed, go to school all day, go to basketball practice at night. She picked me up at 6. We get home. We wouldn't eat till 8, do homework, get up and do it all over again. So I don't know anything else but to go get it. I don't know anything else but to do so many different things. So for me, I get excited about helping individuals, and I don't know, I'm learning the word no this year, but it's hard for me to do that when I know that there's something that I have that can help you. It's hard for me to say no, because I wish somebody would have been like, hey, let me give you a hand up, hey, let me help you, I see you. So for me, it's really important for me and my brand to be known for building relationships, being loyal, putting out great and amazing content, being honest, because everything, I mean, if I don't like something, you for sure know.
Absolutely.
And I take criticism very well. Like, I'd rather people be honest with me. If you don't like it, let's talk about it. Hey, you don't like it? Okay, throw it out the window. Let's start over. I have tough skin. So for me, again, I think it's just really important.
Yeah, that's amazing, because, you're dealing with a lot of energy, and I think it's very humble of you, because when you're in this type of industry, there's so many personalities, types, and just like you came in with the sage, you already know. I mean, we stepped into a world of different types of
Amanda.
people. And I remember somebody had told me when I first got on and started doing this, they were just like, oh, I'm so worried for you, and I'm just like, why? And they're like, because I was off of social media.
You're protected already. You're already protected.
But what's so funny? I mean, someone even like literally broke to the point they came into my DM and told me, like, I mean, I was just like, who is this person? Like, are you psychic? Are you God? How do you know? But I don't like open up Pandora's box and even read into it. Like, as soon as I delete it. Right. So I think it's very, again, humble of you. You know what I'm saying? to be able to do what you do. So tell me, are you more worried about doing things right, Myoshi, or doing things wrong?
Who? I honestly neither.
Mm,
It's like I was trying to like make myself pick one,
yes,
but I'm not really worried.
at all.
I'm not worried about doing things the wrong way. When I tell you, I don't know what clicked
I love that.
just a few months ago. Like the beginning of the pandemic, it was tough for me because I had already decided prior to COVID being a thing that I was
Hmm.
going to walk away from my really great paying 9 to 5. That I
Yes.
was able to do some of the things that I love to do, but I had already made up in my mind because I felt like I got what I needed to out of this role. I
Hmm.
provided them with an amazing and great service, and I'm not bragging on myself, but I know what I did for them.
Yes. Yes.
And I know that for me, it wasn't enough for me. I knew that the ball couldn't stop there, and I was at the top of what I could do there.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the pandemic made it to where it was scary because
Mm.
because my regular clients who I would see that work for the Shell and the gas companies, which is
Hmm.
really big in Houston,
Hmm.
like they're not at home,
Yeah.
and you're pushing me to sell them. I mean, they're not out and they're not at work; they're at home, and so
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? Because I don't want to do anything else.
Mm.
Like I literally like I cringe at the fact of having to go get a regular job, which is nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me. Like I've done it and I
Yeah.
know like wholeheartedly this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with my mom and she was like, "Are you sure? You scared?" I'm like, "I am, but I can't let fear
Yeah.
be my
Yeah.
determination."
Yeah.
So I don't care about either doing right or wrong. I feel like I just have to be who I am,
Mhm.
and not you have to accept it and that's it. But I'm comfortable either way. I'm comfortable if I fail. I'm comfortable if I succeed because at the end of the day, I know I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be at this very moment.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think you're amazing. And
Thank you. I think you are too.
yes,
And I
thank
appreciate your platform. Like when you made that statement, I promise you, I sent it to a couple of different people. I was
you.
like boohoo crying, like in
Oh,
tears. Like
Yoshi.
when you said you watched that video like 19 to 20 something times, like I was like, what? My video? The one that I did with Tria? I'm
Girl.
like, in the moment making it, I knew it was gonna be something powerful because her music and her sound is so amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and I'm so fortunate that our crafts, our 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 paths
Yes.
crossed when
Yes.
they did. Because they've given me opportunity to kind of do something like live my dream. Because I really wanted to be an actress growing up. That was
Yes.
like my goal. Like I was like, hey, I'm moving to LA, baby. It's gonna be on and
Uh,
popping. That's what I'm about to do. They're gonna get all this melanin.
yeah.
But when that didn't work out, I had to find other ways to be creative because I know that's what feeds my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Creativity.
when you said that, I needed to hear that that was affirmation. Like
Oh,
that was literally like, okay, you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. So I really appreciate that in you.
oh my goodness. Girl,
Yeah,
you. Well, you know,
yeah.
the thing is, I think that all of it, and that leads me into my next question, but I'll be natural with it because I think it comes with what you're doing, you know. So your dream is yes to act. I feel and believe that you'll be in a room with actors and actresses, probably, you know, styling. I won't say probably, you will be styling
I
someone,
claim it. I
and
claim it.
then
We're gonna
all of
bring
a
it
sudden
in.
there's a role because your personality is so big, you know what I'm saying? And Dria's too.
I'm
I mean,
definitely a Leo. Gang gang.
you got
Leo. August Leo. Listen, the
it.
mane is tamed up under there, but it get big.
It comes
Listen.
with it. I think all of it. I mean, and that
Yeah.
just leads me to say, I mean, yes, where do you see yourself next? Because you have all of this, you have you're already in the fashion. I mean, you can do modeling, you're beautiful.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
there's so many different, you know, there's a vast array of opportunity in this industry. So what else do you see yourself doing besides acting and fashion? And I mean, do you see yourself tapping into production? Because you're heavy into dealing with music.
Honestly, I have such like I love writing treatments for videos.
Really?
Oh my God. Like I just like I feel like short story. I won't take up too much time, I promise. So I
Mhm.
remember in the 11th grade, we had this debate class and we had to pick a penny up. And the year on the penny, we had to create a story behind it.
Mhm.
I'm the baby. I have an older brother and an older sister, 10 years and 11 years older than me.
Wow.
And so she said it could be fiction or nonfiction, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think it was like 1991, I think was on the penny. And I had to write something about it. So the story that I wrote was about my baby sister who had got me in trouble. And I hated being a big sister because she was such a troublemaker. My mom would never like punish her. It was always on me.
Wow.
And I made this big story about her doing something. And the
Wow.
teacher was like, oh my God. So my mom came to open house and she was asking her about my baby sister. Mom was like, I don't have no other kids. That's the last one. And she's like, oh my God. I said, well, you said it could be fiction or nonfiction.
Right.
You didn't. So for me in that moment, and then I took like shout out to Miss Denise Lewis. Like she was my acting coach. Phenomenal. Like I loved her. I love her still to this day. I don't know where she is right now, but if you're watching, boo, hey. But I literally got a niche for like just writing stories and painting a picture. So I think for me, that would be something I'm really, really interested in, like creating like maybe sitcom or podcast and like kind of just playing around with the idea of creating real visuals outside of like just music visuals.
Yeah, absolutely. I could definitely see it. I could see it all.
I want to be Issa's best friend. Hey, Issa.
That is so funny. Why was I just about to ask you if you had a best friend?
Oh, I do.
Look, but no, if you had a best friend though, who literally spoke to you the same way that you speak to yourself, how long would you allow this person to be your friend?
Man, forever.
Forever.
So my best friend name, I'm gonna put her name out there, Tristan Trishay Taylor Jameson. That's my BFF from the first day of 6th grade, Mrs. Ross class at Welch Middle School. I plugged it all. Me and her have been friends for a very long time. She's in the beauty industry as well. She's a licensed esthetician. She does makeup. So I bring her, we kind of share clientele from time to time, so it makes it easy. But we're very honest with one another. I mean, to the point to where if I can't be honest with you and you can't be honest with me and you can't hurt my feelings and then we can still be friends. We're not meant to be in any type of relationship together.
I think she's here. Is it Trushay, 85?
Trushay, yeah, that's her. Hey, boo. And then Toy, that's my other best friend, too. I talk to her every day when I do my makeup because she helps me. Like, we're talking, and I just can get it done real quick. If I'm not talking to her, I'm in the shower talking to her. I'm doing my makeup talking to her. I'm in the bathroom talking. It's pretty uncomfortable. We have a real weird relationship. She know all of this.
You're so funny. So
well, this is my marriage. I love you, boo.
Who is that?
Trishay 85. That's my wifey.
Okay. So for someone, of course, that's watching, who's, you know, obviously again, generation behind you, fresh out of high school or fresh out of college, and wants to pursue a career, you know, as a creative director, as a stylist, give them a word of advice.
Plan.
Wow.
And I don't mean just like have a plan. I mean like I was never really big on having a planner because I didn't really, Toy actually turned me on to that. She's on here right now. Like she's a huge writer. Like she writes everything down.
Wow.
But I realized my life and my career took off when I started planning my days out. Because, and it's one thing to stick it in your phone, but there's another thing to like literally like take the time out of however busy your day is, sit down for a moment and like think about it and like literally write, okay, today I have this, tomorrow I have this, because it's something that's structural about that, because when we're creative, we're all over the place. Like I can be thinking about 4 or 5, when I'm shopping for clients, I'm shopping for like 4 or 5 clients at a time. And I'm like, oh, this looks cute on her. This looks cute on her. So I'm like, I'm crazy, like in my head. I like to say I'm crazy organized because I can organize it. No one else may understand what I'm kind of like doing, but like I'm like talking to myself, picking it up. But in that moment that you take the time and like set your day out for the week or for a couple of days, I say have a plan. Like even if you don't have anything to do, say, okay, listen, I'm going to get a meeting with this. I'm going to send an email to this person. I need to make sure I follow up. That's so big. Like like reaching out is one thing, but following up, man. It's like everyone that I've ever worked with that either gave me a job, gave me an opportunity, that turned me down, I always send them a thank you email.
Yes. Yeah.
Because thank you for your time. Thank you for, because I learned something in that moment. So I say, have a plan and plan it out. Like take the time to like decompress and like literally write it down and plan it out, and then follow it as much as you possibly can.
Yeah. I love that. And you know what? You're not just talking to the new generation.
Just everybody
in business in general. Because I think follow up is big.
Man.
No one, I think my mother always, because, you know, I was in business development, and I was telling you, and my mom used to always say that, she's like, do you ever send your clients thank you cards? You know, like, no one does the old fashioned, like you said, email or thank you, the personal touch, you
Yeah.
know, because we're so driven by this now, this phone
And
stuff, this texty.
and it's like, once you got it, you're so busy, you're on to the next. You can't even really appreciate what just happened.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's really like I don't slow down. And so I
Mm-hmm.
have to make myself slow down to, like, man, this really just happened. Like, this, like, literally ever since you said you wanted to have an interview with me,
Yes.
every week it's been like, whoa. Like, I'm like, me? Like,
Yeah.
like, I've been hit. Like, Loud didn't even come out. I mean, I didn't even know about Loud was an opportunity until after you had already said that you loved the work that I did. Not saying they
Oh,
weren't already looking, but I hadn't even got that phone call yet.
wow.
So, like, all these things have, like, been hitting me left and right, and I just feel like, I told my best friend, because it's been a rough year for a lot of people who are independent and owners of their own
Mm-hmm.
businesses, and I'm like literally, like, you just have to think positive. Like, if it's
Mm-hmm.
like, if you feel like, man, today's a horrible day, it's going to be a horrible day.
Yeah.
That's just what that is. So you have to be like, you know what, the sun is shining. Like, I'm
Yeah.
grateful to be alive. Like, I have an opportunity to plant seeds. That's all I've done literally all year. Me and my
Mm.
business partner, Chops, DJ Chops, I think he's still on here.
Oh, here.
With South Star. That's my business partner with South Star. But we
Mm-hmm.
literally have planted so many seeds. We sit out months a month, and we said, this is what we want to accomplish this month.
Mm-hmm.
And we're independent. I'm talking about, like, we work for our money and we invested in other people in their dreams.
Amazing.
And I just feel like, for me, it's so important to just, man, just, you want to do more than just exist.
I
Like, you only
know.
get one chance to do this. So
Mm.
why not just, like, say, forget it all, forget what people
Yeah.
think, and just do it. Just do what
Yeah.
feels good.
Yeah.
Hey, my son.
Because so many are like, literally, that's all they are doing, you know, and is existing when you should be living, you
Exactly.
know, literally living. We are in the land of the living. There are over 450,000 people who just lost their lives
Yeah.
to old COVID-19, bubonic plague, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
People have died from it. It's real. It's serious. And if we're still here, able to do what we're doing right now, we still have time to definitely, you know, pursue and into our dreams.
I agree. I think it's important to do that for ourselves and for people who are around you. Because when you live like that, you may not realize. I don't realize how people watch what I like. I would have never expected for me to have the type of, like, opportunities that's being thrown at me. I wanted them,
Yeah.
and I thought they would come about. Like, I'm still waiting on this good old check right here that I wrote
You
like last year for $1 million to come into
love
play. We're
it.
gonna wait on that. That's right there at the desk. We keep it there. I look at it every now and again as a reminder of how much harder I have to work.
Woo!
Um,
My God.
but those are things that we, as I think, just not just creators, but just as humans, period, we just have to really be thoughtful in the
Mm-hmm.
things that we do things with intention.
Yes.
And so for me, it's really just important. So I feel like the person who I truly am allows me to be a great creative. Like,
Yes.
not being creative doesn't allow me to be great. I feel like this the things that people who I surround myself with, I'm really big on energy.
Come
I
on
do
now.
not play with my peace. I
Ooh,
don't care who you could be family. I'm talking
girl.
about blood. And baby, I love you, but I will love you from over there. Because
Ooh.
here, we sipping tea
Mm-hmm. Cheers.
with champagne today. Cheers, boo.
Yeah. Yeah. Be Merlot.
Listen, I like a little red wine.
But I think it's powerful. I think what you're talking about, I mean, is real talk. You know, it's queen talk. It's real talk. It's, you're talking to, you know, our people. You're talking to humans in general. And there's something that has to change. We just endured a shift,
Yeah,
so we have to all shift with the shift.
I agree.
Otherwise, we will be left behind. You know, because biblically speaking, the last will be first, then the first will
And the
be last.
first will be last. Yep.
So if we're being moved to the head, there's so much that's coming our direction. And as we see, and as you all have seen tonight, this beautiful queen is a
Oh,
living
thank you.
proof of that. So I appreciate your testimony tonight.
Thank you. I
In
appreciate you too much.
Thank you. In closing, I want to say again, thank you. I want to thank Drea for her amazing energy and her amazing sound that she allowed us to just use all over the
Yes.
place. Perfect
Man, I love
behavior.
her so much.
Ooh, talented, super talented. But yes, please tell us where we can find you aside from here on IG. Take us out and let us know where we can find you everywhere you are on the World Wide Web.
So I recently just launched my website. It is
Mm-hmm.
Myoshi Monet. And
Mm-hmm.
that's MYOSHIMONA.com. Also, you can see my tag, which is on Instagram. It's at _Myoshi Monet.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, you can find me at Loud, at Southstar, at on One
Ah,
Sound Vibe, at Front Runners. You can find me at your local malls because I'm still there, darling. And honestly, I just want to be free to give you guys all of me in every aspect when it comes to creating visually.
yeah.
I have a podcast that me and my best friend are actually working on right now called Sip My Tea.
Mm.
In beauty and fashion.
Yes,
And so we've been talking about it for a long time, but I'm saying it here, so it has to happen soon,
yes,
Tristan.
yes, yes.
So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Well, I will be definitely staying in touch.
Yes.
Definitely have to do this again with everything that you are doing. I would love to have the opportunity to, um,
I welcome it.
yes, to stay in touch with you. So take care. Please be safe. And
I
again, congratulations
will. You too.
moves. And I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Peace.